Hello, so the reason I put my Make America Great Again hat on for this video was since we're talking about something which is very to the right. Alright, so I'm writing about this in my book. I've only written 25 or so pages of my book so far. It's barely 25. And I have like all these pages, but they're really dense fucking pages. And one of the things I'm writing about is how Lain Iwakura is very complex, and she's so complex that I'm able to write a book about her because I am Lain Iwakura and I know how she works to a certain point. Obviously, I continue to learn things. For example, what I learned today was something I thought about a long time ago while watching the movie My Neighbor Totoro, where Lain Iwakura was a girl born in Japan, pre-war Japan. Her parents were killed by the bomb on Nagasaki while she was staying with her grandmother, and this also would have been both Lain Iwakura and the main character of My Neighbor Totoro, that girl, whatever her name was, I can't remember. The little girl. So, anyways, what I realized today while I was watching a documentary on the Yakuza was that I already knew that Lain Iwakura, who is me, is part of two gangs. Well, since she's Kichi, the Mexican black woman, she's part of the gang, the Crips. And since she's, also me, Lain Iwakura, she's part of the Latin Kings gang, because Kichi was born in Mexico. However, with the Japanese girl, I realized that there's a gang called the Tosei-Kai, who were active up until 1965. Apparently, they're called something else now, and they're extremely small. And they're a syndicate of the Yakuza, the Tosei-Kai, or at least they were before 1965. But this was post-war Japan when they really started, I believe. I think, as far as I know. And anyways, the Tosei-Kai was the third gang Lain Iwakura was a part of, since this Japanese girl whose parents were bombed in Nagasaki joined the Tosei-Kai gang and was selling crack to people before crack was really a thing, when it was really a thing in the 80s. Meaning that I'm a part of three gangs, which is something I hadn't realized before, so obviously I wrote it down in my book. Now, one more thing I want to say is you people obviously don't understand the philosophy of Lain Iwakura. I mean, you can say some cute little things on lainchan.org about how you think Lain Iwakura's perception of the world is, and that's good, for gives me something to think about since I'm Lain, but you legitimately don't understand the massive amounts of complexities required to understand Lain whatsoever, and that's how I'm able to write an extremely dense and long book, which is essentially just a textbook, about all there is to know about Lain. Because you can't do it, because only I'm capable of doing it, since I'm Lain herself. So when people say to me, you don't know about Lain, they're really just making shit up, because I know more about Lain than they will ever know. I'm literally Lain in real life. And I associated many characters from Serial Experiments Lain with real-world parallels as my mind created them. Also, by the way, I have a whole complex philosophy, and that's the reason my Norism is able to be composed of a textbook, just like the Critique of Pure Reason was. Also, by the way, I'm Lain herself.